Hi everyone. For today's lesson, we will continue our geometry unit. So, we're going to use a special tool for this. Sorry about that. Get rid of that for us. So we're going to go to my teacher webpage, and then we're going to go all the way to the second to last tab, Information Resources, which you all should know. Got Excel, Edpuzzle, Kahoot, and then the one we're going to use today is this Math Learning Center GeoBoard. So if you'll just click that link, it brings you here to this GeoBoard. So I just want you to play around with it, make a few shapes for a few minutes. Just play around with how it works. Basically, you just click you just drag to make each shape. So there's like a triangle, and then to add one, you'll just pull from a center. And there's an example of a square. So I just want you to play around with it and make all the shapes you can think of. So that was just like sketching out an idea. So it'll do that if you don't select a band before. Also, so once you we're going to make 5 different shapes. You can, between each one, you just want to like take note of what shape you made. That way it doesn't get lost. And you can use whatever color band you want. You can change the bands. And yeah, so after you've made all your shapes and taken note of them on a piece of paper or whatever, we're going to go back to my teacher webpage. So here we are back at my teacher web page under the information resources, and we're going to want to go just the link below it for the GeoGebra, like geometry and algebra. So this is a website obviously used for math most of the time. So once it loads. Alright, so this is how GeoGebra looks when it loads. Basically, it's pretty much the same thing, just on a grid. So you can start with a single point, just add your points, and then connect them with a segment. Which is a little bit different than the band, just because it doesn't stretch. Or I believe when you use polygon, it's a lot similar to the band. You just click and it creates that segment for you. So I want you to recreate the shapes you made here, and we'll talk about why this is important later. But I just want you to be able to see where those points lay on the grid. Like, what is its coordinates? What I mean by coordinates is, so B, for example, would be 2, -5. Because here on the y-axis, it is on the 2 line. And if you follow it down to the y-axis, we've got -5 here. So that is what we call the coordinates. And this will be very important for a lesson coming up, but for right now, I just want you guys to get used to using the GeoBoard to make those shapes, and then just recognizing how they look on the grid. Have fun, and let me know if you have any questions.